Hi, I'm Chloe and I'm the managing editor here at CanCulture, and like most people, my New Year's resolution was to try and save a little money in any way possible. So, I tried to challenge myself by only eating at home for a week, which honestly was kind of difficult for me because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person keeping Uber Eats in business, but that's besides the point. So I wanted to take a regular week of me eating out, just doing, what I normally do, and compare it to a week where I only eat in and see how much money I really saved. And when I actually broke down my finances, it was quite shocking. So without further ado, this is how that went. The first week was business as usual, nothing too exciting. I ate out 3 times that week. I ordered Uber Eats twice and went out for sushi with some friends. And then I, of course, had my regular grocery bill, and I also stopped at Bulk Barn that week too. Altogether, it came to an astounding $141.39 that I spent on food, which honestly makes me sick. It was all very good, and I feel like it was all very much worth it. However, I do feel like there are a lot of areas for improvement. For my eating in week, I started by planning out all of my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks for the entire week ahead, which is not something that I normally do. And it actually was kind of like an interesting experience because I really had to sit and think about what I wanted to eat, what meals would be very cheap to make, and I had to also take into consideration things that I already had in my fridge, things that I could use, and try to make this as cheap as possible. I didn't even end up sticking to that plan, as you'll see later on. So after I finished my grocery list, I obviously hit the grocery store, got all my groceries, and then took them back and started cooking. I started out by making chia pudding, which is something that I make pretty often. It's really, really simple. It's just, chia seeds, whatever kind of milk you want, a little bit of agave syrup, and I added a little bit of matcha powder. Usually what I'll do is I'll just stick it in the fridge overnight, and then it's ready to go in the morning, and I can make multiples at a time, and they usually keep throughout the week pretty well. And so yeah, that was just my breakfast for the week. Then for dinner, I planned for a few of my dinner meals to be lasagna. And so I made a big ass lasagna. That lasagna was huge and literally fed me lunch and dinner. I'm not kidding, for the whole week. Honestly, don't want to see another piece of lasagna as long as I live. Yeah, having so much lasagna definitely threw a wrench in my plans, and my meal planning literally just became completely useless. So I basically just ate chia pudding and lasagna for a week, which is fine, but I personally need a little bit more variety, especially if I'm eating lasagna 2 meals a day. That in itself became a challenge, more so than the eating at home. Altogether, my eating in week, I spent $53.77 on groceries. And that's including, I made an approximate guess of how much it cost for the groceries that I already had in my cupboard that I was using. Without those, it was $28.77. So it's very clear, comparing $141 to $53, that eating in does save quite a bit of money, which is something that I think we all already knew, and we could tell where this video was going. All in all, I think it was a pretty interesting experience, and it really forced me to take a look at how I was spending money and seeing where most of my money was going. And I definitely think that that's a habit I need to change for the new year. This video has definitely pushed me in the right direction, I think, in making me want to eat at home a lot more. I do think that going forward, I will try to plan accordingly and make sure that I have a variety of meals and only make smaller portions if I do plan to make food in advance. I think it's been a pretty good lesson for me in being accountable for my finances, and hopefully In the new year, I will be saving a lot more. Until next time, CanCulture.